All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Cape Cod Technology Council Coffee Q&A. Thrilled to have Henry Hall here today from MassMEP, a great resource for manufacturers, large and small. And we're going to be learning a lot about that today from Henry. First up, I would really like to say thank you to our media sponsor, which is Cape and Plymouth Business Media, and Dale Shavigian is here somewhere. And one of the things that Dale does in every meeting, he's going to give you a quick marketing tip. So Dale, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Thank you, Bert. So good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. This week's tip, I wanted to talk about actually giving back. In marketing, we talk a lot about broadcasting. So I want to talk about giving someone a review that you've done business with or a LinkedIn endorsement. So this year, I set a calendar reminder for once a week, and I dedicate a half an hour to thinking of a couple businesses I've done business with or give a LinkedIn endorsement. The hard part about this is, what do you say, right? So my tips are, when you hired this person, if it's a review, why did you hire them? Did they solve your issue? Think of a couple things during that course that stuck out to you and you can write about. Endorsement, it could be personal interaction with someone. It could be for Henry today, right? You attended a webinar and it was really useful, and you learned a lot from it. For an endorsement, it could be someone you speak with or attending a webinar. And if you have a hard time of what to say, think about the intent. Why did you want to attend? What did you learn from it? And maybe think about an adjective you may describe about yourself. So, are you passionate? Was that person passionate about what they did? Are you knowledgeable? Were they knowledgeable, etc.? So I think if you spend some time doing this every week, it builds good vibes that we need right now. And it also gets, helps keep you top of mind with the folks that you do business with.
Well, really, I think that giving back is really important, especially in these times where I think we all need all the love we can get.
I second.
So
Yep.
thank you so much, Dale. So if you all want to introduce yourselves, put your information into the chat. Who you are, what town you're from, what who you're representing. Feel free to do that. And at this point, I will turn it over to Mr. Henry Hall. Henry, what you got
All
for us
right.
today?
Let's see. How about that? Can everyone see?
I see it.
All right. So I work for an organization called the Massachusetts Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and we're based out of Auburn, but we cover the entire state. And our mantra is, we are the expert resource committed to manufacturing growth in the U.S., but specifically, my organization's targeted in Massachusetts. So I got about 15, 16 slides that we're going to go through. So I introduce us. Please feel free to interrupt me with any questions that you have, and we'll go forth. So this is a kind of an overview of all the MEP networks in the United States. You can see, we're up here in Massachusetts, and we do some work with the Polaris organization in Rhode Island, and we've done some cross training with both Vermont MEPs and the New Hampshire MEPs. And our IT group is shares with the Maine MEP. So we all kind of work together as a reasonably cohesive group. The MEP network, we are underneath, if you've heard, NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technologies. That's where we get the bulk of our funding. And it's kind of important here to see that our funding is we're funded by the government, but we do have a real good return on that investment. We've got over 1,400 of people like me, we call ourselves, and that's what we strive to do, is to be trusted advisors to manufacturers in Massachusetts and the remainder of the country. And through surveys. So when we've done some of our work, the NIST sends out a survey. Through those surveys, we calculated that for every one US job was either retained or created for every $1,200 in federal investment. And then for every dollar, again, for every dollar of federal investment, $33.8 of new sales have been generated. So we really believe that, and Congress believes that, we're a very good investment for the country. Typically, for the last couple of years, and I won't go any further than that, the MEP network and NIST has been taken out of the budget, and Congress always puts it back in with usually with about a 10% increase. So we are really developed a strong reputation to be helpful to manufacturing in the U.S. and Massachusetts. So the Mass MEP, we are one of the 51 centers. 51 centers. Every state has an MEP, as does Puerto Rico. As I mentioned, we're part of NIST. We reside under the Department of Commerce. We've been in existence since 1996, and our goal is to be an economic driver for Massachusetts. We typically hire leading edge industry experts, or we partner with industry experts. We are able to leverage the NIST network, meaning that if one of our clients here needs help with a specific application, needs a specific supplier, we can go out through the rest of the country in the MEP organization and try to partner up suppliers with customers, customers with suppliers that are in our network. And again, our real strive is to be your manufacturing company's trusted advisor to really make the organization expand and become profitable. We're engaged in all Massachusetts regions and all the industry sectors, from aerospace to food and beverage, electronics, defense, medical technologies is getting to be very broad. Automotive kind of decreasing a little bit as things move offshore and away from the Northeast, but our medical technology clientele is expanding very rapidly. We service manufacturing sector in Massachusetts, and in 2020 that roughly was 6,119 companies employing nearly 250,000 people. And of those 250,000 people, average compensation is over 100,000. So we represent and work with a pretty strong personnel base within Massachusetts. Any questions so far?
Well, as a musician, I'm happy to see Zildjian on the list.
Yes. They make the cymbals, correct?
They make drum cymbals.
Yep.
Is Gina Raimondo aware of what you do?
Tina Raimondo. I'll say no. I don't know that. I don't know Tina Raimondo.
Governor of Rhode Island and Secretary of Commerce designate?
Oh, Gina Raimondi. Is it
Yeah.
Raimondo or Raimondi? Gina. I would assume yes, but I don't know that specifically. But the Polaris organization in Rhode Island is very big, so my guess would be yes. She's very she should be knowledgeable. And I don't know that because I just don't know Rhode Island. I know Governor Baker has he's been very supportive of our organization. So at least from the Massachusetts side, I know our governor is well aware of what we do and very supportive, and has called on us actually to help broker and be part of the Massachusetts emergency response team dealing with the COVID, the COVID epidemic, trying to get manufacturers to pivot from what they do to help make gowns, masks, and organize and help develop the supply chain for the state. So Gina, I do not know, but I do know in Massachusetts, Governor Baker's a strong supporter. Okay, so our mission is to create economic impact by transforming manufacturing companies and the manufacturing ecosystem. We do lots of trainings and partner with a lot of organizations to help companies expand and grow. It's basically a three-pronged approach. First being operational excellence. I don't know if anyone's heard of the term operational excellence. It encompasses, lean methodologies, quality systems, ISO certifications. What we really try to do, and this is my focus, is to work with companies to make them much more efficient and profitable, and improve the quality through ISO quality management systems to help deliver good quality products to their customer base. Workforce development. We in the middle of starting a project, Mass Bridge project, which I'll talk to shortly, to help develop the manufacturing workforce. Growth and innovation. We try to lead industry into the future. We offer marketing strategies, Industry 4.0. We've got a new consortium coming up that's available if anyone's interested, to kind of take raw plain manufacturing companies from Industry 1, which was back with the assembly line area, all the way now to where we're talking with smart factories, and you can kind of control production and get information from anywhere where you may be, on your cell phone, in your home, anywhere. Our approach is to provide a comprehensive portfolio of services, and we really do that by offering approximately 100 various training courses. So in the last 5 years, we've helped to retain 25, and this is Massachusetts, 25,131 jobs through our project work. Identified $71 million in cost savings. We've helped increase sales or retain sales by 1.3 billion, and helped drive $366 million worth of new investments. And this is not our or MEP's version of these. This is what our customers have actually gone in and responded to via surveys. So when I say a workforce training project, perhaps companies have grants where we can come in. I'll explain the grant system later. We actually come in and we'll have a project manager work with a company, project manager, or a group of project managers help each company with training to help increase their profitability by reducing costs, making people much more efficient. We have workforce training programs as well as projects, and this is more broad-based, meaning consortiums where we partner or pull 5, 10 small companies that otherwise generally too small to take advantage of our individual trainings. We put 5 companies together and do trainings, one training with 5 representative companies attending, rather than going in and doing a training with just people from one company.
Henry,
Yeah.
so Felicia has a question about connections with the maker movement, and you and I had a conversation about that before we got started, and I think this ties into what you're talking about with the consortium. So in terms of makers, so for those who aren't familiar, the maker movement is a grassroots movement for people who make everything from non-technology things like jewelry and clothing to technology projects. And we actually have a wonderful maker space at the Harwich Cultural Center, and the Mashpee High School also has a really cool maker space that they have for their high school students. And so for makers who are working towards having a business out of what they're making, I think what you said to me is that you consider someone a manufacturer if they take one thing, do something to it, and sell something else with it. So, can you talk a little bit about how some of these small makers, people who are getting started, can maybe become part of these consortiums and get involved?
Well, it's not that. Ideally, what we do is these smaller companies would come to us. Ideally, if we could do one on Cape Cod, that would be utterly fantastic. We end up, companies come to us. If we know them, we can do an outreach. And if they express an interest in doing a consortium, given enough people, enough companies, we actually will go to the state and apply for the grant, for a state grant through the Workforce Development Fund. And that state grant, then we do trainings to the smaller companies for whatever is agreed to up front. So if people want to learn about lean manufacturing, they want to learn about Six Sigma programs or quality assurance programs, safety programs, anything that we offer, we would agree upfront what trainings each of the 5 companies would want to take part in, how many people they want us to train, and we would take all that information, compile it, and apply for a grant. And then over a 2-year time frame, we conduct those trainings and just draw down on those on the federal or the state grant. Does that answer the question relatively well?
I think it's a great start. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll leave my email later on, so and phone numbers. If anyone has any questions, concerns, please reach out to us, because this is one of the things that we're trying to do is an outreach to areas where MassMEP really has not have a significant presence. And in the Cape Cod region, we just have not had a significant presence. So direct access, right now we've got some money available where we can do individualized trainings without a larger encompassing project. Again, these programs help create jobs, they help companies save money, and we help increase sales.
Just another quick question, Henry.
Yep.
Is manufacturing of food considered part of your
Absolutely.
manufacturing process? Okay.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of burgeoning food manufacturers here in the Cape,
And breweries.
and in fact, one of the organizations I'm involved with is the Cape Cod Culinary Incubator, with which the ultimate mission is to get a shared use commissary kitchen here to help new food makers get started.
What was the name of that? Cape Cod Culinary?
Cape Cod Culinary Incubator.
Oh, incubator, sure.
And the president of that is Harry Henry. So between he and you, I always get a little twisted around.
Well, my name is Henry Hall, and my father was Henry Hall, but he went by Harry.
Yeah.
So there was, and
Don't
I had an
tell me
uncle
that. You're going
Harry.
to make me more confused.
Yeah, I had an uncle Harry, so there was a lot of Harrys, Henrys, and Hanks in my family. So I'm the only one that stayed Henry.
There we go.
So yeah, we do work with like Boston Baking, places like that to help. We offer trainings for food safety and things of that nature. We're starting to we're starting to partner with working to develop a partnership with the Mass Brewers Guild. There's I think 8 brewers small brewers and medium-sized brewers on Cape Cod, and then the southern region. Apparently there's 216 plus or minus breweries in Massachusetts. So we're looking to develop a consortium with them so we can have one training and everyone can participate in it. And because generally speaking, our trainings are much more cost effective if we're doing it to 8-10 people. Small companies don't have 8 to 10 people to take off the floor for an afternoon or a morning or a day. So we just kind of do it in small bite-sized chunks, so we can reach just about every organization. I mentioned Mass Bridge. Mass Bridge project is funded by the Department of Defense. Their manufacturing technology program, ManTech. You know, there's the whole Mass MEP organization started, or the MEP organization was started in the late 80s through congressional legislation, when it was realized that, you know, manufacturing was leaving the United States at, unfortunately, an ever increasing pace, which would leave us competitive, you know, at a competitive and really security disadvantage. So what we've trying to do is make sure that, you know, we can pretty much make everything in this country that we need to really to defend ourselves, and is also to just generate jobs and economic growth. You know, we're divided into 3 regions, and you are here. We're in the Southeast region, and I got off a phone call at 9:30 where we're going to be changing all of this around. So our regions will probably become less specialized, and we'll have our project managers, such as myself, probably going to as needed all over the state. But right now we're in the Southeast region, and we up until this morning had a Southeast region manager. So, you know, that change there really won't affect anybody that I'm talking to or affect how we work with people. Any questions so far? All right, I'll continue.
Oh, sorry, Henry, I was muted. This is Jim Talley from Onset. I have just a general question. And so we're a manufacturer on the Cape. And we've in the past engaged with a company called GBMP.
Yep.
A lot of that workforce diversity training and whatnot. So we've been basically on a 7-year lean journey, and have evolved it such that we're actually providing in-plant training now. But can you maybe help me understand how Mass MEP is either complementary or maybe it's identical to the services that like GBMP had offered in the past?
They are generally a competitor. So I'm sorry to hear that you are going with them, but you know, they're a strong organization.
You know, 7 years ago we engaged with them.
Okay, well, they're a strong organization, and they're very good at what they do. We are more well-rounded, meaning every facet of your organization we can offer trainings for. So in terms of safety, cybersecurity, quality systems, lean implementation, Six Sigma implementation, you know,
Okay.
we do a little bit of everything, and we're very broad. GBMP, they do not everything that we do, but they'll go into great depth.
Okay, understood. Thank you. I was just trying to
Understand the lay of the land.
appreciate it.
Henry, do you work with any funding agencies to complement your training with backup for funds?
Our funding agency is typically the Workforce Training Fund out of the ComCorp, part of the government, the Massachusetts Commonwealth government. So, and what I mean by that is, if you engage our services, we would apply for a grant. That grant money is provided by Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So that's how typically companies would fund our organizations. Now, we have contacts in our organization to help with funding for other areas that we can put you in touch with. But we generally provide services through funding from the Commonwealth Corporation of Massachusetts, Workforce Training Funds.
Thank you.
Henry, Felicia had some questions. I know when I saw your screen with the partners, you did list the community colleges in the area. But Felicia, do you want to jump in and go into a little bit more detail about this question that you have?
Well, I just when I hear somebody talking about manufacturing on Cape Cod, I get very excited because to me, that's kind of another route to balance our economy. I've been trying to figure out for probably close to a professional lifetime's worth how to do that on Cape Cod so that we have really good non-seasonal, well-paying jobs. Anyway, not jobs, really work opportunities, et cetera. So I just wanted to know at what point, and I think I'm getting the picture the more you talk. Took me a while to write that because I'm not as quick a typist as some of you. At what point in time, you know, I was wondering if you linked and partnered with community colleges and tech schools to encourage people to go this route and build their own company from the start, or at what point do you engage? So you're not doing so much as saying, hey, manufacturing is a great place to be. Let us help you and take your hand and get you there. You're kind of saying, okay, now that you're in manufacturing, let's help you do it better, do it more, and do it smarter and legally, et cetera.
We have a gentleman who I don't think is on the call, who has actually gone into high schools, and I've taken part going into high schools and junior high schools up and down within the state, trying to tell people with videos and showing people how manufacturing really is, as opposed to working in a, you know, mill, filthy hot gross steel mill. Some of the manufacturing jobs, manufacturing areas are a potential area for you to generate and start a career. We've gone into the schools to start, you know, try to get people into manufacturing because, you know, there's a lot of places around here, you know, like a machinist. There's a shortage of skilled machinists in pretty much in most of the state, and especially down here on the Cape. So, you know, we've gone, I think we had the program certainly up in Plymouth to go into the high schools up there. We had a plan to go into Mashpee. I don't know where that stands right now, to go in and do some presentations on manufacturing as a career. We work with incubators to help really when someone is working in an incubator and wants to take their product and go commercial, and we offer advice. And as they start to expand, we have marketing programs to help, you know, people marketing through Amazon or Google, things like that, to help, you know, new companies reach a nationwide customer base.
Thank you for that. I think that's that helps clarify. I think that's terrific. Because it sure is needed here. I mean, I just love to see a concerted effort. This is out of your wheelhouse right now, but you know, land use, we only have X amount of land left and everybody's using up industrial parks and things like that, which were originally intended to support people who wanted to go in and start their own companies and you know, everything from automotive to manufacturing. And now they're being eaten up by retail and housing, and that's not the intent. And the more that land gets eaten up by those uses, the less opportunity will exist. Even though manufacturing probably isn't big factories as much anymore because more technology, et cetera, but still you need the space to do it in. So I just love to see a concerted effort. Thank you for your comments about that. So you are engaged. More in the schools would be great. And the schools on the Cape seem to be working together a lot more than they used to. And with technology, it's easier to do today. So love to see a concerted effort on that. Thank you.
Me too. It is out of my wheelhouse, but certainly in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else? So and if not, I'll just kind of go for and highlight some of the you know, equipment assembly. There's a few large and smaller equipment assemblers on the Cape. We offer and have done what's called a systematic plant layout, and then Lean Six Sigma implementation, focusing really on continuous improvement. So, you know, a lot of organizations, you start with a machine here, and as you expand, you don't necessarily take into consideration the most efficient plant layout based on the lean principles, of which there are 5 lean principles, and the elimination of the 8 deadly wastes. And the plan is, and what we do is we go in and make companies more efficient by rearranging equipment, work cells, material flow. We then, material flow is measured by, how long does it take for material to go from your receiving dock out to the customer? And you want to minimize that so you have less inventory, less problems. That's the secret of lean is time reduction. We do partner with a sales organization, marketing organization, actually in Rhode Island, that comes in and helps develop marketing strategies, sales strategies to help smaller companies get their product wares visible to the rest of the country and the rest of the world, for that matter. Problem solving, that every company's got a problem that they need solved, probably many every day. We teach a methodology how to solve problems, quality implementation programs. What's probably going to take off, starting to take off very much now is cybersecurity. What with everyone being hacked nowadays, I know my Facebook account was hacked 3 days ago, and the government being hacked. Cybersecurity is going to become very, very critical. So we have a third-party provider for cybersecurity in the CMMC program, as well as safety training. We've got an excellent individual that we partner with that is just dynamic in training on safety from start to finish, going from forklifts all the way up to developing control plans for companies to fend off and work through the pandemic. That's also been very, very prominent lately. Machine shops, kind of a lot of the similar things. We offer additive manufacturing partnerships. Additive manufacturing being 3D printing. I don't know if anyone's really heard of 3D printing, but 3D printing is you take a blank space and you add material, and you end up with a part with a specific set of dimensions, as opposed to a typical machine shop that takes a block of steel and takes material away. Again, lead time reduction. We're very good at working with companies to reduce lead time. We find that we have found that our clients, as we reduce lead time, it gives them a competitive advantage. Workplace organization, just to increase efficiencies. Anything that is related to a machine shop, we can help through our work. Food and beverage. As I mentioned, we're starting to develop a partnership with the Massachusetts Brewers Guild, helping with setting up plant layouts or brewing layouts. We also offer ISO 2200 implementation program, food safety training. That's one of the bigger things that people are looking for. Lean manufacturing. You're making beer. You're making a jet engine. It's all manufacturing. You're getting raw materials, converting it into something else that you sell as a finished product. How do you do that quickly and efficiency with a high quality product? Again, marketing, sales strategies, value stream mapping to help identify the full value stream, and again, problem solving. Questions there?
Henry, we had a question from Dale around your outreach efforts. So, do you act? I mean, obviously, we've developed a relationship between MEP and the Cape Cod Technology Council. Are you reaching out to other organizations like SCORE, E4All, or other organizations? I know Cliff Robbins is on here. He does a lot of work through UMass Dartmouth and some of the programs that they have on helping businesses get grow. So are you working in developing more networks around that?
Yeah, yes. And we've recognized that that's actually has been somewhat of a weakness. I've got a slide here on how we do market and outreach. And we've got our own website, massmep.org. And we do e-news, public workshops. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're trying to get, one of our clients last fall said, you guys are one of the best kept secrets in the state. Well, that's a compliment, but also almost an insult. And I don't mean it that way. Is we have not done a good job. If people don't know we exist, shame on us. And that's, as I mentioned, this reorg program, we're starting to take a real look at creating a sales and marketing organization that will do greater marketing and outreach. Because the fact that a lot of people here haven't heard of our organization is a problem. And the way it's been done is MEP hires people like me, and I'm a project manager. So it had been up to me to do selling, marketing, and delivering of projects and working with projects with companies. And it's been successful. Don't get me wrong, but we need to take it to the next step because the National MEP organization wants us, they want to give us more money to continue to expand. So I'm a little weak on actually who we partner with in terms of our marketing and outreach. I can certainly get you the answers, put you in contact with our marketing group. But this is marketing. I view this meeting here as kind of a marketing sales, and I don't mean to be a salesman here, but our marketing outreach is let people know what we do. And right now it's generally been held by people like myself who move into an area, and I'm new to the Cape, new living here permanently. I've been coming here since I was a kid, but moved down here permanently, and MassMEP hired me to do more marketing and outreach and sales and project work on the Cape.
And well, first of all, I think you and Dale from Cape and Plymouth Business should have some conversations about this because Dale, I mean, it's up to you, but I think this is might be in your wheelhouse. And the other question
Absolutely.
I had for you is, you were mentioning outreach to the schools. Do you have relationships with the tech schools here on the Cape in Bourne and in Harwich?
I'm going to say I've been to Upper Cape Tech for to start to develop that relationship. So it's kind of starting. I don't know how well we've been out in Harwich, but I know we've been up at the Upper Cape Tech.
Sure. Well, Harwich, they've got their brand new facility that they just launched, opened this year or last year. So I mean, and we have connections with them. Their superintendent used to be on our board, so I'd certainly be happy to make some introductions there.
And I may have met him already.
Bob Sanborn.
That does not ring a bell. So yeah, any introduction would be beneficial because we want to, what we try to do is every company pays their state taxes, and as long as you're current, part of that state taxes goes into this workforce training fund. So we want to take your tax money and put it to work for you. And that's, a very simplistic way of looking at it.
So just one more quick question.
Sure.
Cliff had a question. Do you train and certify Six Sigma black belts?
Yes. We've actually brought that in-house. I myself am a Six Sigma black belt. I have trained green belts. I don't know if there's a belt hierarchy, white, yellow, green, black, and then the master black belts. We have hired a master black belt to bring a lot of that training in-house. And it's funny, this week we do have a program all set up. We have developed, we did an online virtual white belt training this past week in 8 hours. We offer online yellow belt training. That's a 3-day training. We offer green belt training. That's an 80-hour program. And we can do that on site or virtual. Black belt training, the COVID has put a damper on that for the last year or so, because that really needs to be done on site. And being on site places for 3 weeks is problematic. But we are looking to develop a green belt consortium. And I would recommend green belt to start with. Black belts, and I'm a black belt, you end up knowing a lot more of the theory of statistics and a lot of these statistical tests. And the green belt is really, that's where you apply the practical knowledge. So yeah, the answer to your question is yes, we offer the black belt training. But right now, we're not going to do it until we can go into companies and do it on site.
Great, thank you, Henry.
So how to fund our work? We offer, you can fund our work through general grants, and all this money comes from the Commonwealth Workforce Training Fund. So larger, the amount of grant money available to you is based on the size of your company. So, we have grants up to $250,000. You get one of those. You have to once you reach that grant, $250,000, you are earned and awarded that grant. We have 2 years to complete it. And usually there's another year wait before you can apply again. Right now that's with COVID, they've made the states made it a little bit easier, so you don't have to wait a year. We had a thing called, we also offer express grants. So as a company, if you wanted to implement an ISO 9000 quality system, you can apply for an express grant for up to $30,000. That used to be limited to companies of 100 or less. Now they'll let any company do it, and that would be reimbursed at a rate of 50%. So it's a pretty involved process. So it costs roughly around $20,000 for a company, a little higher, and the state would pay for half of it. The company would have to pay for the rest of it. I mentioned consortiums. They're ideal for the smaller companies, where we can put together a group of companies, agree on a training plan, project plan, and we would then go and apply for the training grant from the state ourselves. And once that grant's awarded, we schedule a training for the client companies, members, and you just show up. We train you, we help you develop projects, complete projects, and it doesn't cost you anything. The other grants, it's reimbursed. So what we mean by that is you would pay as we go. You would pay us, and then you apply for the state to get your grant money to pretty much reimburse everything that you just paid for us, if that logically makes sense. The same with express grants. You pay right when the training right when the training's complete, but then you have time within, I think it's usually pretty good, within a month, you get your money back. But consortiums, there's no exchange of dollars. You just show up and get trained and learn what you need to do, and then partner with us to improve your operation. We've had a little bit of money from the Small Business Direct Access Program, where we can do individual training. So if you had a problem in your plant that you're having trouble with, we could come in and help you, train you in problem-solving methodology, and that would be paid for by the state. And all else fails, pay cash, we're still worth it, but we want you to get your tax money back. And, you know, we keep track of trends and opportunities of where manufacturing is going. So cybersecurity, innovative thinking, my organization, we're always looking ahead how we can develop and come up with more trainings as manufacturing advances. So smart factories, you know, as they start to come up, and I don't think there really will be a smart factory on the Cape anytime soon. Usually that's a much larger organization that, you know, it's full of robotics and a lot of information flow from robots to product. But in other parts of the state, smart factories are starting to take hold. Cybersecurity, I mentioned that. Looking forward, that's going out. That's going to become critical. So we need to be able to help and offer help to Massachusetts companies. Advanced marketing tactics, agile methodologies, and, you know, skill gaps. So we're always looking out, trying to predict where the manufacturing sector is going to go, what the needs are going to be, and offer and help wherever we can. And that's pretty much what I have to offer. So please, here's my email, phone number. There's 2 of us on the Cape. I'm the big project manager. You know, I'm of the operational excellence side of the fence. And if you have any questions, please, we can do trainings in your place, our place, or cyberspace. So a lot of our trainings now we can offer online. We really like to be in your company, because then we can kind of go on the floor and really, you know, train you how to solve a problem. But while we're training to solve the problem, we're solving the problem. It's hard to do that over over the computer. So,
Henry, this is a tremendous amount of great information, and I think you are a wonderful resource. MassMEP is a wonderful resource, especially for some of the smaller manufacturers we have here on the Cape. Robin has a question. Does this kind of thing exist in Massachusetts for other industry sectors?
Great question. So great. I'm not sure I know the answer. I don't know that. My guess is there's more organizations like you know, well, I forget the term now, like an industry organization. So if you're in, you know, like the Mass Brewers Guild, there's an organization strictly for the people that you know, have breweries. Well, there's that organization, and we help partner with that. But our forte, our you know, our lifeblood, the reason why we exist is to promote manufacturing. Hence the name Manufacturing Extension Partnership.
That's good to know. Perhaps we can kind of maybe backtrack and look at you know, some of your funding organizations and maybe find out who else they're funding that are doing similar kinds of things. Do we have any other questions for Henry before we let him go on this Friday? All right. Well, Henry, thank you so much for being here. Lots of great information. We will put this up on our YouTube channel so that people can access this info on the fly later. And Dale, thank you for your support of what we are doing from Cape and Plymouth Business. Robin, I know you're here somewhere. Thanks for helping organize all this. Robin Orbison from Cape Space is our program committee chair and does an amazing job at herding cats for the wonderful speakers we have for coffee Q&As, First Fridays, and special events. So thank you all, everybody, and enjoy your Friday. Henry, thank you again. Look forward to seeing you again.
Any questions? Please do not hesitate. I don't know the answer. I'll get it for you.
Great.
Thanks, Henry.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Bert.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Henry, Bert, and Robin. And great weekend, everyone.